Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing checking back in with y'all, man. What's happening? What's going on, man? I am very excited with everything that I just heard in this Errol Spence Jr. interview that he just did today on Premier Boxing Champions live on Instagram. Every Monday they have a guest on the show, and this is my first time really catching up on it, but every Monday they have a guest on the show. I believe they have fighters and trainers and, different people alike in the sport of boxing, within the PBC hub. And today they had Errol, the True Spence Jr., and they pretty much talked about everything, man. Y'all got to go check out this interview. You can go watch the replay of the live on PBC Instagram page right now. But they talked about pretty much everything, man. Anything that you probably wanted to ask Errol Spence, anything that things that you was probably wondering about ever since the Sean Porter fight, since the accident, and all the way leading up until now. They talked about it, man. They talked, Errol Spence mentioned that, he's 100% healthy, 100% cleared multiple times. He recently went to a facility to where they checked out his brain. They checked out literally every part of his body and told him that he's 100% back to being Errol Spence, and he feels healthy. He's back 100% focused. And it's just beautiful to hear him, speak with the hunger and the grittiness that you heard Errol Spence talking with, before he fought Kell Brook, back when he was chasing his first world title. And he actually said, like, that's the type of mode that he feel like he in right now. That car accident gave him a second chance, not only at boxing, but at life, so it's just good to hear Errol Spence in these type of spirits, in this type of mode and this type of vibe. And I think it's going to work wonders for his boxing career. But they talked about a few things. They talked about, how in the past he was calling out everybody, trying to get in the ring with everybody. And now he's the unified champion and you got guys gunning for him. But Errol Spence said, look, you can't hunt the hunter. You can't hunt the hunter. You dig what I'm saying? I'm still the predator. I'm still that guy that want all the smoke. I'm still the one. I'm the one that's going to run down on you. You can't run down on me. You dig what I'm saying? You can't hunt the hunter. You feel me? And, he's saying, man, I still want smoke with everybody that I was calling out that I didn't get an opportunity to fight. And then even Sean Porter, he'll still fight Sean Porter. He won't Terrence Crawford. He won't Danny Garcia. He won't these guys. You dig what I'm saying? So Manny Pacquiao, and his goal, like he said, is to be the undisputed champion at welterweight. That's his goal above anything else. And I believe that's what Errol Spence trying to make happen. I forget the guy's name that was conducting the interview. You see him all the time calling PBC fights, at the podium and stuff like that, calling the fights. He'd be at the press conferences and things. So excuse me, I forget the guy's name. But he asked Errol Spence a series of different questions and things like that. And one of the things that they talked about was the Terrence Crawford fight. And when he brought up the Terrence Crawford fight, he talked about how those guys have, Errol Spence talked about how him and Crawford have a mutual respect, how with the Wilder and Fury fight, it was a huge step to them being able to work together and make the fight happen. And like Terrence Crawford said, and like Errol Spence has been saying, when the fight makes sense financially and, with it being a joint venture, they got to put all the money in the pot and both guys got to be able to get paid handsomely for what it's worth, and Errol Spence, Errol Spence said that this is a legacy defining fight. This will be a legendary fight, and he said he felt like Terrence Crawford got the skills. He know Errol Spence. He know he got the skills, and with all that being said, I love the fact that Earl can identify and understand the magnitude of that fight, but also he still hasn't lost touch with how he feel the fight is going to play out. How he, now, of course, when you're supposed to feel like you gonna win, you're supposed to feel like you the best. But we talked about this a million times on how I feel like that fight is gonna play out. I think it's gonna be a great fight, a very tactical fight, half and half chess match, half dog fight. But with all that being said, Errol Spence said, this is a legacy defining fight. I think it's gonna be a classic fight. But he said, I feel like I'm gonna watch Terrence Crawford. He said he feel like if Mean Machine can knock him down and if Gamboa can hurt him, he said he feel like he can stop Terrence Crawford. You know what I mean? And we talked about that a million times. Go check out why I think Errol Spence Jr. beats Terrence Crawford, part 1 and part 2. You know what I mean? We talked about that in depth. You know what I'm saying? So it's just good to hear the brother talk about his career and where his mindset is right now. He mentioned, getting back to being 100% focused on boxing. He talked about when he fought Mikey Garcia, how he had to sit in the sauna right before the fight, or right before the weigh-in. He had to sit in the sauna to sweat and try to try to lose weight. He had a sauna suit on and all that. He said he didn't sweat until he was like an hour within the sauna. So he had blown up so much in that fight to where he had to kill himself to make weight. And the same thing with the Sean Porter fight. That's probably why, when I made the post-fight video, I said he kind of looked a little bit lethargic. Even though he looked good in the fight and he did what he needed to do to win, I felt like Earl could have looked a lot better. And what I said was true, because he wasn't 100% where he could have been as far as, staying in shape in between fights. And he brought up the famous Marvin Hagler line. He said, it's hard to get up at 4 and 5 a.m. and, start running when you sleeping on silk sheets, And the guy had asked him, why do you think that was? In between those fights, you were blowing up in weight, getting up to 190 pounds, because Earl said he got up to about 190 in between those fights. And he said he just got too comfortable. But this car accident and everything that's been going on is really put things back into perspective for Earl. He said he can't wait to get back into the ring. He can't wait to get, to start getting more fights up under his belt, man. And you could tell that he's just genuinely more focused. He appreciates his craft and the sport a lot more. And he mentioned that they was looking at July for him to return to the ring, but now is more so looking like September or October, which I understand for the boxing fans, it might suck, but I feel like this will be perfect for Errol Spence to continue to, get 100% back in shape. You can see in that interview, his face has slimmed down a lot from the last time you probably seen him on video. Like I said, he been running, he been working out and staying in shape, man. So it's just exciting to get for the energy that I get from Errol Spence, because y'all all know, what I'm saying? We all Errol Spence Jr. fans here. We seen, how he was when he was coming up in the ranks, chasing down these guys, trying to get that world title. And it's a different type of hunger then. And go back to the video that I posted like right after the accident happened, how I told y'all this right here is going to make Errol Spence Jr. 10 times better in that boxing ring. It's going to make him a better man outside the ring, but it's going to make him 10 times better in that ring, because that hunger and the fact that he understands that now it's my time to shine. He said, look, I'm ready to prove to everybody that not only am I still the same Errol Spence, I'm not the same Errol Spence, I'm better. You know what I'm saying? I'm an even better Errol Spence. You dig what I'm saying? So if y'all didn't get a chance to watch that interview, go check out that interview, man. It was pretty dope. It's probably going to answer a lot of questions that you always been wondering, ever since the accident. And y'all let me know down in the comments what y'all think about the interview and how y'all feel about, Errol Spence's prediction on the Terrence Crawford fight, and everything that we talked about, man. Contender regime, boxing. I holla at y'all boys, man.